Hello and welcome to the Subculture. My name is Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And if you listen to this is our Once More With Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we're doing Season 5, Episode 15, I Was Made to Love You. Isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. This episode was first aired February 20th, 2001 and was written by Jane Espenson and directed by David A. Contener. Over to you, Eddie.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Buffy has...
Buffy is what?
No.
What has she done? What did Buffy do?
Alright, this is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Jared has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
It was worth it just for that, I think. A little gaff there. That's staying in there, by the way. You're welcome.
You bastard.
I know. So to add to that, Eddie, so I Was Made to Love You, Eddie. What was your initial thoughts or feelings on this episode?
Yeah, so on the surface, this episode feels like a breather episode in the midst of the glory arc. But it is somewhat of a pivotal episode. Like, you can't skip this episode.
Unskippable, okay.
Like, there is sort of the game changer at the end, like that end scene. I'm going to decide we won't talk about in this episode.
Okay, all right. We're not allowed to talk about the ending. Okay.
Well, we can talk about it, but we won't talk about it. We won't analyze it.
Okay, all right.
So to speak.
Yep, all right.
It's there, but we're going to kind of ignore it and just focus on the rest of the episode.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that's the rules. Okay.
All right. There is a lot of foreshadowing in this episode, and it introduces a future antagonist, Warren, and you sort of get a little bit of a glimpse of his true character in this. Katrina, the
girlfriend,
the real life, the alive girlfriend,
the alive girlfriend. Yep.
She also plays a bit of a role in future episodes, and we get sort of the creation of the Buffy bot. Can we
refer to this one as the sex bot from this episode?
Okay,
so we're not mentioning the ending. That's your rule. My rule, she is the sex bot. Okay, we refer to her as the sex bot,
like the Buffy bot or April.
April is the sex bot.
No, I'm not. I am not going to refer to her as the sex bot because even Warren says she's not a sex bot.
I don't know. I saw those files on that drive there. And,
no, that was make Warren happy, and it was like give him present and praise him.
I don't think you saw the other ones.
Listen sympathetically. There was 4 sex positions on there, and the rest were just position.
And 4 sex files.
And a fetish.
Fetish file. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to refer to a sex bot. So
no, you
can't stop me.
No,
you can't stop me.
No.
I'm going to do it.
You're disgusting.
Thank you.
You disgust me.
But I was talking about the Buffy bot.
Well, we haven't seen her yet.
No, but you see Spike getting Warren to make her.
Yeah.
But this episode is probably more about the sort of Buffy also dealing with love and relationships and expectations.
Oh, this is going to go so well.
Yeah. What did you think of the episode?
No, I actually thought this episode was a bit meh, to be honest. A bit on the silly side, the sex bot.
She's not a sex bot. She's a girlfriend.
Sex bot.
Well, I love that you can't tell the difference.
Oh, Jesus. God. Ref awards a penalty for below the belt on that one. All right. But before we get into it, let's do a quick summary and get back to it. Buffy trained at the magic box while venting to Giles and Xander about Spike as they both try to console her. Meanwhile, a young woman arrives in Sunnydale searching for her true love, Warren. Joyce prepares for a date with help from Buffy and Dawn. Anya and Tara discuss the internet and stocks when the young woman asks about Warren's whereabouts but moves on when they can't help. At a spring break party, Buffy chats with Ben and dances with Xander. The woman arrives still searching for Warren. Spike hits on her, but she throws him through a window. Buffy tries to talk to her but gets thrown aside. The gang all conclude that the woman is a robot and must find Warren before she harms someone. Willow finds Warren's location. Buffy visits Warren, who is trying to leave with his current girlfriend, Katrina. He reveals he made April as the perfect girlfriend,
See, girlfriend, not sexbot.
But fell in love with Katrina. April encounters Katrina in a park and tries to kill her. Warren and Buffy arrive on the scene, but Warren sets April on Buffy so he can escape with Katrina. Buffy fights April, damaging her until she stops. Buffy stays with April until her batteries run out. Buffy realizes she doesn't need a man in her life. Spike tracks down Warren about making a Buffy-based robot for him. The end. All right, so I think I might start this one off tonight. So I had two sort of revelations with this episode. So things I know that are coming, or characters and situations. The first, of course, the ending of what happened with Joyce. So I knew that was coming. I didn't expect it like that at all. And the second one was the Buffy bot. So when I was watching this episode, I felt that the character, the sex bot, was very reminiscent of the Buffy bot character that I've seen before when you've been watching it. I just didn't know the context. And I was kind of curious how that character came into the show. And again, I didn't see this coming, as that that one of those guys made her.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the initiative had something to do with it. It seemed like something they would have done to create a Buffy bot. I couldn't understand their motives for creating that, the rationale for it. So, and considering where they're done and dusted, I'm like, I'm wondering how that character comes into it, because we are heading towards the end. So yeah, that was a nice little revelation of the evolution of the Buffy bot and where she comes from.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to be basically all the scenes with the slapstick in it. I'm predicting maybe with her.
Yeah. Well, when we were watching this, I asked you who that the actress that was playing April wasn't their first choice, and it was actually written for someone else, maybe a pop star at the time. And straight away, who did you say?
I think you had to give me a clue, but I think I did say Britney.
I didn't say pop. The moment I said pop star, like I said, someone of the day, and you're just like, that's. I said pop star, and you're like, oh yeah, Britney. Britney.
Well, unfortunately, she turned it down to do the Crossroads movie.
Yeah,
I'm sure she would have had time to do this. I mean, I don't think that was really a scheduling conflict. It just would have been a day's work or something, But she didn't want to play a robot.
Yeah, I think it was just that she didn't want to be a robot.
Yeah. She was being nice. She was like, I'm kind of busy making this epic blockbuster film. They're already printing my name on the Oscars for it, I'm sure.
It's not going to win any Razzies.
No. I don't think it did. I think she got beaten by glitter. So, damn you, Myra Carey. Outdoing me again.
Yeah. Well, so at the core of this episode is, themes of love and loneliness, and Buffy investigating April's present in Sunnydale. She has to confront her own insecurities about love and relationships. And this episode offers some insight into Buffy's emotional vulnerability and her struggle to balance her role as the Slayer and her desire for a normal life. Because she's, the episode starts out with her still reeling from last week's revelation with Spike, where she's kind of angry and confused by the whole thing. And the fact that, she even brings up when her mum's going on a date, she brings up the fact that her past two relationships haven't just ended. They've ended with the person having to completely leave town. And, she's probably still really kind of confused about that. And she's sort of talking to Xander like, well, maybe I have to change how I act, and maybe I have to, conform more to what they like. More. Yeah, smile more. Laugh at their jokes more. Like pretty much pretend to be something that she's not.
Let's bake some cookies for the boys.
Yes. Which is funny because that's like, I think that's what she realizes with April. Like, she has this real, this sympathy and compassion for both Warren and April. Like, she understands why Warren created her.
Yeah.
But she also has like this compassion for, like, she lies to her at the end, like tells her, he'll be back real soon. You're a good girlfriend. He's really proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She tells her this lie, and and I think it's that thing where Buffy was thinking in this, she's ready to move on, but she doesn't really know how to move on.
Yeah. I know, it felt a bit silly, that scene at the end of, her dying, quote unquote dying.
I kind of liked that scene.
Yeah,
it's kind of a sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I thought it was a bit silly, to be honest.
That's actually what I've got as my favourite scene.
Yeah, really?
Episode is because they do have this kind of this weird, deep and meaningful conversation.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it, to be honest. How did she keep her batteries going? That question was never answered, was it?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Because it just needed to.
Yeah. Or Warren. Well, when do you really know? Warren said, "Oh, her batteries should have run out." Like, when do you know when your batteries? Like,
when do you know?
Like, when do you actually know if you don't have a little
an indicator or something?
Yeah, some sort of indicator.
Well, it wasn't lithium batteries, because lithium batteries usually just die straight away. They don't slowly go out. So there must have been NiCad batteries she had.
Okay.
Because lithium batteries just go like that. That's like the ones of my power tools.
Yeah.
I mean, they slowly go a little bit, but then they just stop.
Yeah.
So it's the old NiCad batteries where you could just get that last little bit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd sort of know.
Yeah.
Before them lithium batteries.
Yeah. And she sort of also has this whiff of compassion for Warren when he's talking about how he thought that he would be in love with April.
Yeah.
Because she was perfect.
Well, he didn't really sort of go into it. He just said he didn't love her anymore. Like, he didn't really talk about...
No, he just said it was like, well, I'd say that he's probably a narcissist. So he had full control of the situation. He had fully programmed her. And that was boring to him because he had full control. And when you saw the way that he would talk to Katrina, like, he was just like, shut up, do what I tell you.
Well, wouldn't a narcissist want the control?
Yeah, but it's no fun for a narcissist if someone's doing exactly what... Like, he already has the control. He's not doing behaviour to control her.
Okay. That's really confusing. So... he wants the control to control her, but when he has the control, he doesn't want the control.
There's no sport in it.
Okay, so he wants the fight back. He wants the back talk, I guess, and not to say yes, master.
Yes.
All the time. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
And I guess through April's journey, Buffy, does come to realize the importance of self-discovery and self-acceptance, because she doesn't want to end up like April, who her sole purpose in life was to please a man, and she did everything right and she still couldn't please him.
You don't have to be complete. You don't have to have a man to be complete.
Yes.
Maybe we're sort of...
Well, no, it was more that April didn't get a choice and Buffy gets the choice of going on some
Isn't that something that Disney often are criticised for a lot of their films, that all the women or the female characters have to have a man, and feeding on the notion that you're not happy unless you have a man, or you're not complete?
Yeah.
Something they've been criticised before. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, also most of the Disney characters suffer from severe, like they are so isolated and lonely or put in these situations that they do fall in love with the first person that's nice. Like the first person that's nice to them.
Nice to them, yes. Yeah. Yeah, they usually are...
they're so mistreated and...
Well, I'm just trying to think. We got Snow White and, I guess maybe by the evil stepmother. That sort of made me think that stepmother was just like saying evil mother. I used to... I used to think that. Because it was always a stepmother was an evil stepmother.
Yeah.
So a step-parent was always bad. So that's probably another thing of Disney sort of promoted a little too often.
Yeah. So anyway, April was highlighting the significance of personal growth and finding one's own identity. And as I said, Buffy gets that choice, and April didn't get to have that. April didn't get to make choices. That was the other thing.
I just find it interesting that you feel so much sympathy for this robot character.
I do.
I just really couldn't care less. it was just a robot. It's just a walking toaster, Eddie.
Yeah. No, but then it got me thinking that Warren probably treated her terribly as well, and you know, she was this abused robot and robot rights.
I know it's all suspension of disbelief, but the fact that you just create a perfect replica robot in the 90s like that twice. By the way, we had Ted.
He wasn't even created in the 90s. He was created in like the 1950s.
Yeah, that was even. We never sort of get any explanation how any of this is done or what. I suppose at that point you just don't need it because whatever explanation you give is just going to be stupid.
Well, when talking about April, and it's the fact that everyone was like, "Oh yeah, she's a robot," like straight away.
Yeah.
Like it's that.
Well, I said that too. Oh, she's a robot.
Yeah, it's the uncanny valley of her, and that she's perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You know, being perfect isn't always a good thing.
Heavens forbid you be perfect.
Yes, but it's not always a good thing. And this is probably a good episode to bring up talking about AI, which has been in the news quite a bit lately.
Oh, it's funny about that. It's putting itself in the news maybe. I don't know. It's controlling our news sources.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like a lot of rich people are like, oh, we've found a way that we can, you know, like cut out people from us making money, and we can just use AI to do all the hard work.
Well,
and then we don't have to pay people.
It's not really sort of about that. It's about the uses we're using it, and that's the interesting part, and the likeness you can make of people. Like I sent you that Johnny Cash,
which I thought was
video.
Awful.
I thought it was pretty good. Like it's seamless. I mean, as you just mentioned, it was too perfect. Well, the thing is, like a Johnny Cash recording from 30, 40, 50 years ago wouldn't sound that good.
Yeah.
And not good in the quality sense of the sound I'm talking
but
about, not of what the music he was playing. So, and as you said, it's before the uncanny valley of the character, she was too perfect, and that's how everyone worked out she was a robot.
Yeah, but it's that sometimes it's those imperfections that can make something unique and beautiful.
Yeah,
and entertaining as well. Which is why I think shows like Buffy, which is a completely imperfect show, but it's fun to talk about because it does have fun.
I didn't say I wasn't entertained. Oh, actually, no, I did say I was bored.
You did say you were bored with this one. And that's why I don't think AI will take over the jobs of creatives, because A, it needs an operator, but B, it can't come up with it has to pull from other sources. So you're just going to get the same thing over and over again. And we're already in a situation where we're just getting the same thing.
Well, actually, maybe what would be a good thing, I might do something different. Who knows?
Well, no. Well, it is that thing like, well, people are now starting to be like, ugh, we're a bit bored of this.
But they've been doing this for like over 10 years, though. So I'm not sure why it's a problem now.
Well, it has been. Been making them lots of money over the past 10 years. It's starting to not make them money anymore.
Exactly. There are starting to see the low returns on their IPs now. Now the Little Mermaid film just came out, another live action remake, and you just roll your eyes like, geez, really another one? But as far as I know, that one is not doing well.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the film itself or if there is just a trend with cinemas, because there seem to be a few bombs going at the moment. Now, I can't tell whether this is because the films are bad or because there is a trend. But to be honest, the films kind of do look bad, though. So you have, just to name the three, The Flash, Like, The Flash doesn't look bad. Indiana Jones movie, the Little Mermaid film, and there was like another Pixar movie that came out that's bombed as well. So those three things in the past would usually bank pretty well. Even if they were bad, you'd know they would sort of make some money.
Yeah.
But now they're not. So I don't know what is causing that. Is that a symptom of fatigue from these IPs, or is it something to do with people going to cinemas? That's what I'm not really sure what the answer is on that.
I'd say it's all of the above.
Yeah, well, all of the above, maybe, yeah.
Like, you've got to make a choice. Like, if you're going to go to the movies, like there might have been once upon a time you'd go see every movie that came out. If you had, if you had that disposable income.
Well, you could, because movies would stay on cinemas for months.
Yeah.
You can't imagine movies, I mean, months after it come out, it'd be on a streaming service. So, films don't stay on there as long as they used to.
Yeah.
So that could be another thing, another component, another symptom. Yeah. I don't know, maybe.
But I actually had a look at everything that was at the cinemas at the moment, and there was absolutely nothing that was original. Though we are getting Barbie and what is it, Oppenheimer released soon. So
have faith in Christopher Nolan to make original stuff. So it's one of the few guys out there doing it.
He makes original stuff, but all of his stuff is based around time.
Well, the last couple have been.
Not all of them.
All of them?
All
about
of them.
time? Oh, just thinking Memento, yeah. Batman, not really, no.
Okay, not really Batman.
Tenet, yeah, okay. Interstellar, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, time, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely something that
he was hired to make the Batman films rather than he made them. So that's probably a bit different, yeah.
Oh, I think he made those movies so he could make, you make your big budget movies so you can make your art house.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But he makes big budget art house movies.
Big budget art house, yeah. High concept shit.
Yeah, high concept. But yeah, you've got to do. What was that joke? That was in what movie was that in? Oh, I think it was in a Kevin Smith movie. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were talking about the fact that you have to make a couple of big budget movies so you can make your art house movie.
Okay, yeah. Is that a quote from them? Okay, yeah.
What was the Kevin Smith movie?
Is that the Strikes Back one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
All right, off topic there.
No. A bit of a rambling off topic. But let's get back talking about AI and perfectly imperfect modules. It got me thinking about that episode. We watched a South Park episode recently that's set in the future.
Yeah.
And they had, was it Alexa? Who you thought was a girlfriend.
Yeah.
At first. Yeah. And then he's like, oh no, that's just my Alexa. And then like he's telling her what to do and she's giving him attitude.
Yeah.
She throws tantrums.
Yeah.
And I think it is that thing where they had to make a realistic girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's I think you're right on the money on that one. I think that's exactly sort of playing on that. So with the sex plot from this episode, she was just too perfect for Warren, and that's why. I mean, she became boring. Could he just turned her off, like the off button?
Well, that's the other thing. He built her, but didn't put in an off button.
Yeah, a reset button or something. Made her really strong as well. I'm not sure why.
I don't know. They always seem to make robots.
Robots are always strong, aren't they? Even though they're kind of weak. But usually you can just push them over.
Yeah.
Or that one. You ever see that one of them kicking that dog?
Yeah, I always hate it because I'm just like, oh, please don't do that. One day they're going to take over and they're going to be doing that to you.
You like being kicked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like seeing robots getting...
Well, they're showing the stability of it. That's what they're trying to say.
I don't like it.
Look, you can kick it and it just gets right back up again. Why would you make me feel pain?
Well, that's the other thing that he does. He makes her feel pain when he's not around. Like that might have also been why she went to find him, was because she feels physical pain when he's not around.
Wow. And
I think it's like he said, she feels pain when if he calls to her and she doesn't answer.
Oh, yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah, if he calls and she doesn't answer, she feels pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you do get a little bit of the glimpse of the narcissist that Warren is.
Definitely, yeah.
It does get explored a bit more in later seasons.
Yeah.
So
the lone gunman. Did I call themselves the lone gunman?
No, they're like the three
amigos. Musketeers.
I can't. Oh.
Geeks.
Yeah. I don't know. They do have a name. I just can't fucking remember it right now.
Power of three.
Yeah. They're the arch nemesises.
It seems like they're doing their own little thing and that don't even know they're there. Is that?
Well, the difference with them, so they're not really the big bad, but they're not trying to take over the world.
Okay.
Their whole thing is they're not trying to take over the world. They're just they're making Buffy's life annoying.
Annoying.
They keep going after Buffy, but yeah, it
never sort of works. And
yeah, well, I think they just don't want Buffy on their trail.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So they're trying to get rid of the Slayer because she's sort of stopping them from being able to do what they want to do.
Okay.
As I said, you did get a glimpse of his narcissism. But yeah, also the ethical implications of creating artificial beings and then designing them to feel pain.
Yeah. It's like we're watching Clone Wars at the moment, and there's certain scenes with those droids, the battle droids, where they're screaming and yelling.
Yep.
And why are they doing that? Why are they yelling and scared as well? They're like, Jedi, and they're running and they're scared. And they're like, but they wouldn't do that unless someone programmed to do that. So why would they program someone to do that? It does come off as a good comic relief to the show, the battle droids. I mean, they're so menacing in the films, but in the
just
show,
the sheer numbers was menacing. Yeah.
But they don't sort of talk in that comedic sort of vernacular that they do in the show. Like they really do ham it up, which I don't mind. It's quite hilarious. But yeah, making machines feel pain and fear is something that you kind of
it's also
it's something hard to do, so you'd have to put a lot of effort into it as well.
But it is that ethical implication of the responsibility of the creator towards its creations. Why make them feel pain?
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, is it just coding? I don't know. Do they actually feel pain, or are they just programmed to think they feel pain?
Yeah.
What is pain?
Yeah.
Oh God! All right, my head's hurting on that one.
Yeah. And we have Spike attempting to
talk down Giles, and
he goes back to all of Buffy's friends to just be like, oh, it's just a little misunderstanding. And then you get Daddy Giles.
Yeah, he really
Ripper Giles.
He really turned then, didn't he? He's like, get the fuck out of here now before I beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. It's like, if I ever see you again, I'm going to stake you. Yeah. You're done.
You're not our friends. Get out.
Yeah. Pretty much doing the same thing that Spike did to him last season, which was like, why can't it? I hate all of you, and why do you keep coming to me? And then he has to go to them for help. A little glimpse of.
Yeah, and on that note, again, I keep bringing this up. So he comes stumbling in with his thing on fire.
The thing was on fire.
Literally on fire. Can't he just walk around in a motorbike?
I don't know.
They did in Blade.
It's just more dramatic to run in with a blanket over him.
Yeah, I mean, just wear a motorbike helmet and gloves and stuff. They did that in Blade. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. They can walk around daylight. Oh, actually, they also just use sunscreen as well.
So you used to wear this weird sunscreen.
Yeah. Man, that is a bit heavy.
Yeah. And the discussion with when she was talking to Giles about Spike, and she was like, "Oh, maybe I let him on," and Giles says, "It's not your fault the way that he's behaving," which was the complete opposite of what Joyce and Willow were saying to her in the last episode, where they were like, did you do something to lead him on? Just funny, the different perspectives in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen this episode?
No, I haven't seen this episode. No. You one to me.
And did you go down any rabbit holes?
Not really. Was looking up the actor, Ben. He's aged well.
The first thing you said to me was like, what's with his hair? Why does his hair look so...
Is it looked a bit extra dorky? I mean, I don't really remember having...
the hair kind of dates him a little bit.
Yeah. And seeing him now, he's been acting so many things. What's his name again?
I just know him as Ben.
Ben. So. All right, we'll just call him Ben. That's all right. I'm sure people still call him that from the job he did from 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No real rabbit holes. Yeah.
Okay.
So go into question time?
Yep.
I've only one more question.
I have to go to the bathroom. I said, be right back.
All right. All right, Jared.
Yes, Eddie.
Which character was your favourite?
That's a good question for another time. I liked Ben in this episode. He was so charming and nice.
Oh,
I could see that relationship.
And he tried to make a little joke about his pediatric pants.
Yes, his pediatric
no,
pants.
was it pediatric? No.
No, what was his joke?
Orthopedic pants.
Orthopedic, yes.
Yeah.
What's that? Adult.
Don't worry.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, he was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? I don't know if you can answer this question, but can he just change into glory just like that, or does something have to happen?
I don't think he has any control over it.
But is she like aware of what he's doing?
No.
She just changes when she wants to.
Yeah.
So and that can just happen randomly.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing can start that or anything, or that's just no. Okay. All right.
That is so cool. Can you fly?
Yeah, my favourite character's April.
Sex bot.
April. Okay. I'm gonna do all the questions as a robot. Which character do you love to hate?
Please don't. I'm serious. Don't.
All right. Which character do you love to hate?
Well, I guess we're supposed to hate Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Warren.
Warren. Like
Yeah,
Warren.
I've got Warren.
The sex bot's a bit stupid.
Warren!
Oh, as if you wouldn't want a sex bot. LOL moment.
So I did like the when you got the Terminator view from the sex bot and the sort of directory files that she all has for Warren.
Yep. So that was the pleasing Warren files.
Just pleasing Warren. Actually,
but my favorite one of that was something like give him presents.
yeah. So have you got all the file names there, Eddie?
Yeah. So hang on. It is called Make Warren Happy. And it's a folder called Kissing 01, Kissing 02, Listen Sympathetically.
But spelled funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's GVHM presents.
Give him presents.
Give him presents. And then you've got Sex 01, Sex 02, Sex 03, Sex 04. Praise him. Neck rubs. Fetish 1, 2, and 3.
They're separate files. Fetish 1, Fetish 2, Fetish 3.
They're all separate files. And then you've got position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. And then it's got the recognition module, and it's like Warren, boyfriend, really smart, handsome, best lover, snappy dresser, good dancer.
Good dancer? Mate, you're talking about making them feel pain, making her think he's a good dancer.
Well, it's funny. He's got these other fields horrific. Here. One is locate Warren, and then the other one is protect Warren. So...
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. I did like that. I was kind of curious, are we going to get a Terminator 2, Terminator sort of vision of the world from her point of view?
Yeah.
So, it was a nice payoff.
Yeah, I think my favourite part was when Warren's trying to mansplain that April is a robot and Buffy's just like, yeah, well, duh. Like just like, uh-huh.
They even played the music into it of the reveal.
Yeah.
She's a robot and the music says, dun, and
Yeah.
It's like almost the show didn't know that she was a robot.
She's a robot.
Uh-huh.
Okay, favourite fight scene? There aren't too many
So
in
they're really
this
the one
episode.
with Buffy versus Sexbot, I think.
Yeah.
So
And she does a little
made
this little growl.
She growls? You made her so she growls?
Favourite scene?
Spike getting thrown out the window was pretty intense.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are not my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I want to know what he said.
Yeah, he whispered something, didn't he?
Yeah.
And also, side note, he was doing the thing of trying to talk to a girl in the same room as Buffy to make her jealous.
Yeah, he was trying to make Buffy jealous.
That old trick, huh? Go up to a girl and start talking to her in view of the other girl. You know, like, oh, I've moved on.
After she had already rejected him,
Hmm.
and then threw him out a window. But then April also hurt Buffy in that scene as well.
Yeah. Threw her across the room too, didn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah. Damn.
Yes. Yeah, I reckon the fight between her and Katrina. Like, Katrina also didn't really fight back, but it was... Yeah. It was kind of terrifying when you see her just holding her going, she's asleep.
I thought she was going to be holding her head for some reason. I know the show's not that dark, but I was just, which you could sort of see her holding her hair. I'm like, oh God, is she holding her head?
His head fell off.
Her head fell off. April and Buffy talking on the swing as April's batteries are slowly dying. And they have this sweet little conversation, and Buffy kind of starts rethinking all her choices. I think she even says, she starts quoting all of these sayings, like it's always darkest before the... That's when her...
before dawn. Oh.
Yeah, before... That's when she... But she doesn't say dawn, but yeah.
Yeah. Very sweet.
Into that, yeah. It's sort of this very sweet little conversation that they have. And I felt so bad for poor April. Poor April.
Ah.
All right. Least favourite scene.
Oh, my least favourite scene was a Sexbot dying. I thought it was really stupid. Sitting there speaking really slow. Mumbling on and stuff. Yeah, no, I thought it was silly.
Oh.
Of a character we've never seen before and it was programmed to feel something, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think Buffy could also sort of relate to it a bit when she was like, I did everything right. And in Buffy's head, she did everything right with Riley. And it still wasn't enough to make him stay.
Did she, though?
Well, she didn't know. I don't think she wasn't made aware of it because he never told her. So until like 5 minutes before he was like, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, my least favourite scene is when she's flirting, like she's trying to flirt with Ben and she's sort of doing that weird laughing at his jokes.
Oh, Buffy is?
Yeah, and it kind of reminded me of like an old episode with her and Cordelia where Cordelia's laughing at fake jokes.
She learnt from the best.
Yes.
Well, make sure you laugh at his jokes.
Yeah. Favourite quote.
You made a growl? That's all I got.
And my favourite quote's Anya. She speaks with a strange evenness and selects her words a shade too precisely.
Robot.
Who gets the wooden spoon?
I gave it to Spike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he does get shit on a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets thrown through a window, then thrown outside.
Yeah.
Told to leave town.
Yeah.
So he does magically know who Warren is. So...
Yeah, and it was it. I did like the bait and switch when you saw him going to his apartment. Oh, his cemetery. Where does he live again? The cemetery. The crypt. Sorry, in the crypt, and he's ripping all the posters and stuff down, and his shrine down. So you get the feeling that he's over Buffy and he's going to start again. But no, he's actually taken that stuff so the guy can make him a sex bot.
Yeah.
Sex Buffy bot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did like that sort of bait and switch.
Well, I was going to say Warren because he just didn't.
You can still say Warren.
Well, he didn't put an off switch on his robot girlfriend, and then he ends up losing both his robot girlfriend and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So install a damn off switch. Who is the MVP of this episode?
Oh, it's Buffy.
Yeah, I've got Buffy.
Yeah.
What do you rate this episode out of 10 using something from the episode?
I gave it positions number 4.
All right. I went 8 out of 10 Puffy Xanders. I don't know why he's in, were those sumo suits kind of popular at the time?
I think it was one of those carnival things, maybe. I remember doing one at a friend's Bucks party. That was, maybe 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's one of those sort of fad things that are like at carnivals, like the Velcro suit things. Remember them?
Oh, the ones where you jump onto it.
Yeah. I never actually done one. They don't look like fun, but you just get stuck on them.
Yeah. Fly trap, something.
Yeah, like you just jump on a trampoline and just and
then wait till you fall.
Yeah, and I think someone's got to pull you off, or I think you can get off yourself. I don't know. It looks like you just get stuck there. Help!
Yeah,
just try and get a spatula to sort of big oversized spatula to wrench you off or something. Yeah. So all right.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, look, we'll just finally mention. Okay, so Joyce's death at the end did shock me, and I probably might have given this a lower rating had it not been for that scene. So I'm guessing, but we'll get into that next episode. Yeah.
So next episode picks up pretty much right where.
So unofficial continuation.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that shocked me. Like, oh shit! And now could I just say talk about the scene in general? That was quite a gut wrenching scene.
Mm-hmm.
That probably should have been in my top list somewhere, but so because we weren't going to mention it tonight, I kind of did leave it out. But that was quite a powerful scene.
Yeah.
I'd say I actually would have written this episode completely off. It's just nothing apart from that scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, anything you're going to add in?
Nope.
No, that's it. Well, Eddie, I'm just going to push the button and say, well, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. My name is Jared.
I'm Edwina.
And if you want to do stuff, I don't know.
Well, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. There's a Facebook page. And if you want to help out the podcast, please follow the link tree on the socials to our merch store.
Yeah, so like, share, subscribe, and and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye. Bye.